Okay, so this recipe is pretty simple. It only contains 5 ingredients. Ingredient number 1, oats. Ingredient number 2, brown sugar. Ingredient number 3, butter. Ingredient number 4, cocoa powder. And number 5, chocolate chips. If you have any dietary restrictions, this recipe is pretty adaptable. You can use, most oats already come gluten-free. You can use dairy-free butter or margarine, and dairy-free chocolate chips. So if any of those are your dietary restrictions, then you can substitute and enjoy this recipe too. Another reason that this recipe is so easy is because in the title, it is no bake. So you don't need to use an oven or a microwave or anything like that for this recipe. You've got everything you need right in front of you. So before we get into the actual cooking, I don't know if anyone has ever tried to make typical out trip food at home, so food that you would typically eat on a camping trip, but you might find it doesn't quite taste the same as it does after a long day of camping or hiking, canoeing, or portaging. So I like to do a couple things before I enjoy a treat like this. So if you're wanting to make this, I encourage that maybe before you do, you go on a hike or a walk around your neighborhood. Go for a swim if you can do that. Go for a canoe paddle or a kayak paddle, or spend some time out in nature. I guarantee that when you come and enjoy your snack, it'll be all the better because you spent some time outside. That is a secret ingredient to no-bake brownies. So now for the cooking. First thing you're gonna do is wash your hands. Make sure you scrub in between your fingers, get around your thumb, get around your wrists, get all nice and clean. It should take about 30 seconds. So if you're singing the song Happy Birthday or your favorite campfire tune, that should take around that amount of time. I've already washed my hands. So take some time, pause the video, go and wash your hands. Welcome back. This recipe is pretty simple. So here's what we're gonna do. In your biggest bowl, have your oats. This is sort of the base of your meal. If we were eating a salad, the oats would be the lettuce, is the metaphor that I like to use. First, what you're gonna do is you're gonna add a little bit of brown sugar. Now, this recipe doesn't call for exact proportions. It's more of a taste test along the way and see how you feel kind of meal. So I'm gonna add, here, I'll show you. I'm gonna add like a big heaping spoonful of brown sugar like this. Gonna add it in there. I'm gonna save the butter for now, but I'm gonna add some cocoa powder. I'm gonna do a little smaller of an amount, like half a heaping spoonful of cocoa powder. Add it in there. And I'm gonna start by mixing those around. Okay, perfect. And then you're gonna mix until it is thoroughly combined. You can take a look at mine to see what it looks like. Next, you're gonna add the butter. Now, you want the butter to be softened, so on a nice hot day like this, it didn't require much work, but if you need to pop your refrigerated butter into the microwave for a little bit, go ahead and do that. When you're adding the butter, you don't wanna add too much so that it looks like butter and makes the oats buttery, but you want to add just enough so that the oats and the brown sugar and the cocoa powder all sort of stick together. So I'm gonna do a little bit by a little bit just so you don't overdo it. So I'm gonna grab this much butter. That's actually probably about a tablespoon, and you're gonna add it in here. And you're basically gonna cream it together. So if you have a spoon like mine, maybe using the back of your spoon, push the softened butter into the other ingredients so that it sort of all comes together and sticks together. Oh, I cannot wait to devour this. Okay, so it's not quite all sticking together yet, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. Oh, actually there's some on my spoon, so I'm gonna keep going. Oh, yummy. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more. Another tablespoon or so. I know I said there are no measurements, but I'm gonna help you out because I want it to be delicious for you at home as well. Oh yeah, this is looking perfect. All right, so that'll be about 2 tablespoons of butter. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna do a little taste test, just to see if there's anything I wanna add to make it just perfect. So if you're doing some taste tests, make sure you just use a clean spoon so that it's nice and sanitary for everybody else who you might be sharing this treat with. So let's see what we need here. And this is all personal preference. Okay. It's pretty chocolatey, so I'm good on the cocoa powder, but I think I'm gonna add a little bit more brown sugar because I like to be pretty sweet, but that's just my personal preference. So I'm gonna add a little brown sugar, mix it all up, and then I am ready for my last ingredient, which is chocolate chips. Now this again is just as much or as little as you personally like. I like chocolate chips because I think it just makes it all the more yummy as a chocolate fan. So I'm gonna add about a quarter cup of chocolate chips here, mix it all together, and there you have it. This is Julia's rendition of chocolate no-bake brownies. But here's the most exciting part about this recipe. You can really make it yours. If you prefer brownies that have coconut in them or peanut butter in them or cranberries or anything like that, just add them kind of like how I added the chocolate chips. Add them at the end and add as much or as little as you like, but there are a lot of ways that you can change this recipe up to fit in your tummy just how you want it to. I hope you spent some time outside today, either hiking or swimming or doing whatever it is you could do outside today, because trust me, it makes the brownies taste way better. And one last little tip is these brownies taste really good by a campfire. So if you have the ability to do that, I highly encourage it. Have fun, everyone. Make sure you upload a photo of your no-bake brownies to ymcahome.ca/YCamp so that you can keep working on your virtual passports. Enjoy your brownies and have a great day. Bye, everyone.